much for your call.
And keep listening and let us know whenever we can be of assistance in answering any questions.
Margie in Detroit, Michigan, listening on Ave Maria Radio. You are up next. Margie, your question for Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy. My question is about the recent change to the Catechism about the death penalty.
Uh-huh.
And my question is, how did that come about? And that's part A. Part B was it legitimate? Because it seemed like it was just like a unilateral decision by the Pope. And if it was, what would stop a Pope from changing the Catechism to say a sin is not a sin?
Okay.
How did that? I just want to have more information about that.
Okay. Well, this is something that has been brewing for a while. Recent popes have been taking a progressively more negative attitude towards capital punishment. And it's not just recent popes, it's recent bishops all over the world. If you look at the trajectory on this subject, the clear trajectory among bishops around the world has been towards a more skeptical attitude towards the death penalty rather than towards a more open attitude towards the death penalty. So this isn't just the Pope. Having said that, the Pope does have the authority to change particular passages in the Catechism. He's the one who promulgated the Catechism. I mean, John Paul II was the one who did it first, and subsequently he revised it, and now Pope Benedict has revised, Pope Francis has revised it. And popes can alter the wording of the Catechism just like they can alter the wording of the Code of Canon Law, because they're the promulgators of the Catechism the same way they're the promulgators of the Code of Canon Law. In terms of what stops the Pope from saying adultery isn't a sin or something like that, well, a number of things. One is, and you can look at this from more than one perspective. Even if a pope did say such a thing, he would simply be mistaken, because it's already infallible church teaching that adultery is a sin. And if he tried to change the catechism to where it said adultery is not a sin, that would mean he would be, in a fallible way, issuing a mistaken statement. But it wouldn't affect the Church's infallible teaching, which the Pope does not have the ability to deny. It would just mean he's making a mistake. Would such a mistake be likely? Well, no, the Holy Spirit is guiding the Pope and the other bishops, and through the action of the Holy Spirit, there's going to be, if a Pope were to attempt such a change and just say adultery is no longer a sin, everybody, there would be a mighty convulsion about that, and other bishops would step up and say, Your Holiness, we really can't say this. This is infallibly settled church teaching. And so ultimately, because the Holy Spirit guides the church, even if the Pope tried to do something like that, in the end, truth will ultimately prevail because the Holy Spirit progressively guides the church into truth, and so temporary mistakes that get made ultimately won't stand.
Margie, I hope that is helpful. I'm going to keep moving just because I got to get to as many questions as I can this hour. Aaron in Florida watching on YouTube, you're up next.